Hi everybody, welcome to August. Welcome to a completely different energy. Welcome to a completely different month. August is an awakener. It's an awakening month because right from the get-go, right from the start of the month, right from the midnight of 31st of July or the early hours of 1st of August, we have a new start, an intention, a new energy infused towards us coming from the positive sign of Leo. The new moon in Leo, which is happening in the early hours of 1st of August, is infusing a fresh energy. It's giving us the confidence, the vibe that is required to come out of a season of feeling the feels, of feeling the emotions, to now forming our identity, to now giving space, giving stage to our ambition, giving stage to joy, giving stage to our playful self, giving stage to party vibe, giving stage to all the things that we want to highlight and show, which we are confident about. This is the season which empowers us to show our individuality, to not hide behind anything anymore, come out boldly with our gifts and display it with all the showmanship we have got. This is the season of flair. It's the season of dare. It's the season of prompting our inner self to display what we want the world to see. This is where it all happens with a little bit of a surprise, with a little bit of rebellion energy, with a little bit of breaking away from the norm. Because Uranus, the awakener, is getting activated right from the start of this month. Uranus will be very strong in the first 11-12 days or the first half of the month. And it's all about radical, spontaneous changes. It's about expressing our individuality, coming out of a stagnant situation, not accepting the same anymore, moving out of any situation which is stagnant, moving beyond convention, beyond rules, beyond establishment, beyond the hindrances that have been blocking us. This becomes the time when we have two important energies in play in the first half of the month. One is of surprise, where we surprise ourselves by sort of acting with boldness, acting with radical confidence, acting with the vibe that we were missing earlier to pull out of a stagnant situation, which was blocking our expression. Our fear to change, our fear of being spontaneous, our fear of radical steps is taken away. And it can come out in a little bit of erratic fashion because it's not the easy energy, but it is something that is required to move out of the old vibe, move out of the stagnancy. This is the awakening. And the second energy, which is rife in the first half of the month, which is what we have been asking for, is Jupiter, the planet of expansion, is finally going direct. All of this happens around 11th of August, but we start feeling it right from the new moon of 31st midnight of 1st of August. Jupiter going direct frees up all the things that were held up for the last 4 months. Starting from around 14th or 15th of April, when Jupiter went retrograde, and our external support system to some extent took a backseat. Our blessings took a backseat to some extent, because it was the period of growing the opportunities in the right direction, re-evaluating them, re-evaluating if we are going in the right direction. Now with Jupiter going direct, the gains, the growth, the personal and professional growth now starts manifesting in material world. You see the support coming through. You see the external influences now working in unison with you. You see the gifts that were held back, that were sort of taken back to some extent, or the steps which we had to take back after moving forward. Now we see the forward movement again. We are not going to stand still in the month of August. This is not the month to stand still because we have both Sun and Mars in Leo. These are the planets of ambition and action, and they are in the best possible sign. So our ambition and drive is at its best in the month of August, especially in the first 18 days of the month. So it's the month to take risks. It's the month to take initiatives. It's the month when our confidence, our self-love, our enthusiasm, our cheer is going to be at a high. We will attract all the attention on ourselves, on our talents, on our creativity, and we love it. Because we have been waiting for this moment. We've been waiting for ambition to take stage, and our ambition takes stage when Sun is in Leo and we have a new moon, and Jupiter throws its blessings unblocked towards all of these, towards our talents, towards our playfulness, towards our party vibe, towards our expression, towards our ambition, towards our own identity. It expands our identity, it expands our ambition, it expands our confidence to go after the things that were held back for such a long time. And this is such a gift to come after the heavy eclipse season, because we are working and have been working over the course of last couple of months to get rid of the karmic things that are holding us back. Now becomes the time to move forward. It becomes the time to write the story forward. It becomes the time to sort of bear the fruits, because in the season of Leo, in the summer season, in the northern hemisphere, the flowers, the fruits of the season, the blossoming of the fruits and the flowers happens in this time. We shine in this season. We shine proudly. We enjoy our gifts. We express ourselves fully and generously. And to some extent grandly. Everything is big. Everything is big. Everything is with a flair, with a dare, with a pomp to some extent, because it's all part of the performance that comes with Leo. It comes with the confidence. It comes with the faith on our future, which Jupiter is giving us. And at the same time, Uranus is saying no more, we cannot stay with the old stagnant energy anymore. So if there are things that were stuck, if there are things that we were holding back in saying or doing, we are sort of woken up from that moment and prompted to act. And right from the get-go, at the start of the month, you'll see this shift happen, because right from the start of the month, around from 30th of July all the way to 2nd or 3rd of August, Uranus is making aspects to Sun and Venus. So we'll feel that right from the start of the month. And then around 16th or 17th of August, we might receive some different communication as a result of the changes we have done. So these are sort of these surprise days of this month. 30th of July, 2nd of August, 16th of August. These are surprise days. Then we have the growth days, the days on which we start seeing the forward movement on the things that were held back since around 14th of April or at the start of this year. That is happening around 7th or 8th of August. And then yet again on 21st of August, we might receive some concrete communication in that direction. Because in the season of Leo, Leo is a fixed sign, a fixed fire sign. We consistently work with all our dare, all our power, all our energy in a singular direction and move things. So the things will be finalized. The things will be fixed. The things will be sort of put to paper. Because Mercury, the planet of communication, is also going direct right from the get-go, right from the start of the month. On 31st of July, right when we have this new moon, or the 1st of August, right at that moment, a few minutes before or after, we have Mercury, the planet of communication, going direct as well, which means that we have a rebirth of our mind, a rebirth and a restart of communication, unblocking of the communication. Things were not coming back to us. People were not calling back. People were not communicating clearly. We were rethinking things. All of that forward movement starts. Give it 2 or 3 days from the start of the month, because it takes time for the planet of communication to gain speed. But from around 6th or 7th of August, you'll start seeing all of this pan out in a physical fashion. But you'll start feeling the restlessness, if I can say that, right from the start of the month, because you feel this impending change coming your way. You see that you want to set free. You would want to get out of anything that is holding you back, which is causing stagnancy in your life right now. There is a need for freedom. There's a need to get out of boredom, get out of any kind of confinement that you will feel right from the start of the month. There is excitement there. There is stirring up the boring and stale things, because we want things quick now. We can see things can shift now. So once you see things can shift now and your planet of communication is going direct, you're like, your mind is speeding up slowly from the start of the month, and you'll want to do things quick and fast. And at the same time, you want to do it because you want to heal your individuality. You want to heal the things that your I am wants. You want to heal your individuality, in the sense you want to show your individuality to the world. You are a unique being, and in the season of Leo, we want to show our unique being to everybody. The passion, the self-expression, the playfulness, the romance, the proud, it's all enhanced in the season of Leo. And this new moon, which is happening on 31st of July or 1st of August, is happening at 8 degree 37 minutes of Leo. This is where we straddle a wall. We straddle two ways of doing things. The 8 degree of Leo is all about being the rebel, being the person who wants to do things quickly, break things, get out of a situation. You know, the be quick and break things, the Mark Zuckerberg motto, sort of. I mean, it's like in some Samian astrology, it is shown as a communist activist who's spreading his revolutionary ideals, because he wants people to get out of the administrative hindrances. He wants people to get, to some extent, even riled up, because he wants people to break through. But at the same time, it is also the other side of it is 9 degree of Leo. So we're straddling the 8 and 9 degree of Leo. The other side, the other wall that we're straddling, is of a dedicated, creative person. 9 degree of Leo is shown as a glass blower who shapes beautifully a vase with a controlled breathing. We're using our whole being, our whole energy in a creative process to generate something of significance and beauty. So we are dedicated about what we are creating. We have put in a lot of energy in that. There's a power of our spirit, a fire of your spirit, which you want to be displayed to the people. You deeply feel these emotions, and now you want to put it into form. There's a creative intensity to it. But at the same time, while you are being masterful at your art, you want to have a dream of breaking through the glass ceiling as well. Because 8 degree of Leo is all about, it wants to have a beautiful dream of classless society. So you might be trying to do things which people don't think you are equipped to do. People may think you are not there yet. You're not ready yet. So you would rebel against the people, the obsolete establishment. The youth revolutionary within you will revolt and fight against anybody who does not acknowledge your individual identity and does not think you can do it. There's a force of Shiva behind this degree. Rudyard described it as a social political controversy which is riling up in our heart. It is a little bit destructive in nature, a little bit chaotic in nature, but the chaos before is required to get a new order. So the chaos will come before the order. I'm warning you of that the chaos will come before the order, because the Uranus starts acting way before the blessings of Jupiter comes. Way before, when I say that is a gap of 3 days, but with Uranus it will feel like years. So starting from the start of the month all the way to 3rd or 4th of August, you'll feel Uranus playing with your mind, this restlessness playing with your mind, this revolutionary in your mind, this social political controversy which is driving you to chaos to some extent. It calls for a new power, it calls for a reorganization, this fight with obsolete establishment, this fight with anybody who does not accept your unique identity will come before you start getting the blessings. Because we are fighting something truly within ourselves here. The square with Uranus is not an external fight. It is a fight with ourselves. It is usually a fight where we have a personal issue. We have an internal issue which needs to be overcome. There is a stagnancy in our own way of doing things which is blocking our blessings normally. And that is highlighted or exaggerated at the start of the month because we want something new now. So this sort of the push and pull that you feel at the start of the month, the practical result of this movement is external chaos to some extent, which calls for reorganization, which calls for a mega action. And you will see that play out in the political scene. We already see that play out in political scene. We will see revolutionary coming out more and more in the first half of the month as Uranus is activated. There will be a call for new power, a call for reorganization in United States, in Hong Kong, in Russia, in Puerto Rico. You will see all of these countries. You'll see that chaos before a new order come through. And as I said, the other side of it is to generate something significant and beautiful, a new creation. We are developing mastery in our craft independently, not under the influence of somebody. This is self-drive. This is inner confidence, not working per intimidation of anybody else. This is our own drive. When we are under the influence of Leo, we are the king. We act on our own impulses, on our own impetus. We are hammering away to perfection something that we believe in, holding our own in confrontation. We are straddling this overkill versus underkill wall that exists. That you have to be a creative, yes, but a creative with a cause. In this case. So there is a emotional tugging of the heart which is required, which happens around 2nd of August to get you, if I can say, riled up, to move up, to move beyond, to showcase your talents without hiding, to hold your own in confrontation, to have the courage to fight for what you believe in, as well as the wisdom to focus on what's truly worthy of your attention. As I forget who said this quote, but it was said, one is nothing more than what one dares to be. And in the Leo season, that is exactly what we do. We dare to be who we want to be. The moral and the physical courage is exaggerated right at the start of the month to take a bold step. The passionate, impulsive energy, which lets you to engage other people in what you want to do as well, because it's not just you alone here. You, a king, even though decides on his own, because Leo is a significator of a king, a significator of the sun. Sun is one, king is one. But he does something where he gets people excited about the cause, gets people excited about what it wants to do. So that's something that you would do also, and the aspects encourage you to do that, and they support you to do that. They support you to get the external supports here, because you'll be able to get people excited like you feel excited about something. So if you feel excited about your cause, you feel excited about this new project, you feel excited about a new job, you feel excited about a new communication, you will get people in your game. You will get people to join you, especially around 6th or 7th of August. So the start is always you getting excited, even getting riled up to some extent, even getting too focused on one thing, because Leo is a fixed fire sign. It's like, you just are firing in one direction because you've decided that's where you want to go, and you're firing all guns in one direction. And when you do that, you get everybody excited about that one path. And that convincing, that support, that positivity of people coming together with you could happen around 7th of August. 7th August is like one of the best aspects that we can have in the next decade. It is one of the best aspects because Jupiter is in its own sign, in Sagittarius, Sun is in its own sign, Leo, and they're both merging together in a positive aspect. It feels great. It's one of the best aspects of ease, of high spirits, of enthusiasm, of confidence, of good fortune, provided we act. We can influence people in a very bold fashion on 7th or 8th of August, even a day before or after. It's also a good time to take a journey. Take a journey of spiritual growth, of personal growth, because this is about you doing what you love. Leo is not about doing what other people think correct is the right. It's not about the social norm. It's about doing what brings you growth, what brings you financial gains, what brings you personal growth, what brings you spiritual growth. So study, travel, broad outlook, whatever you need to do. But things that were blocked since April, you will slowly, not by not, start seeing them open up in the coming weeks, starting from around 7th of August. And the optimism and the love and the attraction and the dating and the social energy will also grow from 7th or 8th of August, because Venus is also getting a positive aspect from Jupiter on 8th of August. So it's a great romance day. It's a great personal day. It's a great time to travel, to take a holiday. That's what I'm doing. So it's a great day to do what you truly want to do, which makes you happy, which makes your soul fulfilled, which gets the creative juices flowing, which gets you to sort of put your beauty on stage. I mean, Venus and Leo is all about putting your beauty on stage, being bold about your talents, being bold about your God-gifted talents, and displaying them in a big fashion. And this will continue. This will continue over the course of this month, as Mercury will also come out of, it will become visible after 8th of August. So our communication becomes bold as well. It's moving into Leo from 11th of August. So this is us starting to feel the positivity at the start of the month, and then we start communicating it. We start discussing with people after 11th of August. We start communicating it. We start receiving the messages of it. So 21st of August is a very, very positive and a good news day from a communication perspective. Things that were held back, now the actual news of it starts coming. What we need to be mindful of while all of this is great is that in the season, the ego can get inflated. There's a purpose to it, because we are being asked to do things which are bold in fashion, but there's a energy of my way or highway which gets exaggerated in the season, because we are fixated about how we want things to be done and who we want to do it with. So we want to put things in stone which should be done in the fixed season, but we are reminded that we are modifying our approach, because the Saturn-Pluto South Node aspect that I've been hammering about, talking about, will continue till September. So we are still a student in some ways. We are still learning a few things. We don't know it all at this stage. So there are certain dates on which I want you to be specifically careful of this kind of a thing, which can become a mini crisis if we are not careful on these dates. The ego issue from a very small topic can become a little bit big if we are not careful on these dates. So the first date is 4th of August, which I want to be careful about. And then the second is 14th of August. And the third is 24th of August. So let me summarize the dates for you. Surprise dates, 29th of July, 2nd of August, and 16th of August. Positive dates, positive news, positive communication, days to convince people, 7th of August, 8th of August, and then around 21st of August. Even 14th of August is good, but 14th of August, you have a possibility of things getting into ego struggle if you're not careful of. 14th of August is also a very, very positive day. But you want to be a little bit careful that we are not getting my way or highway kind of an energy. And those are the dates which I want you to be careful of, which is 4th of August, 14th of August to some extent, and 24th of August. Those are the days where ego play can come into our bold expression that we want to be careful about. So that's what is happening if we want to look at history. Because why do we look at history of this new moon? Because where this new moon is happening and where the full moon is happening on 15th or 16th of August is the area where we had eclipses in 2017 and 18. What does that mean? Because we have had eclipses for 2 years in the area where we're having a new start. We've had a huge amount of karmic clearing there. A huge amount of karmic shifts have happened in 2017, 2018 there. So there's huge amount of information and learning that has come through in these years in the area of our life where Leo and Aquarius is, where Leo and Aquarius are in our chart. Specifically, these are the dates where you can look at just to see what happened on these dates, to gain perspective. It doesn't mean that those events will repeat itself. In fact, these are the dates when something was possibly lost, given away, or put to closure, where we might experience a fresh energy, a fresh start. So the dates are 10th of February 2017, 11th of October 2017, 31st of January 2018, and 18th of April 2018. I will of course display them on the screen so you can take a look at it as well. But these are the dates when we had a closure in the area of our life where we're having a new start now. So there might have been some karmic ending which might have happened, and this is specifically true between January to April 2018. The specific dates that I gave you, those are trigger dates. The themes of that would have played out throughout early part of 2018 as well as the later half of 2017. But these are the trigger dates a day or two before or after 10th of February 2017, 11th of October 2017, 31st of January 2018, 18th of April 2018. There would have been an event which is karmic in nature. If that happened, that means that there are planets in your chart which get triggered by Leo and Aquarius. And you might see that trigger in a positive fashion now, like a new start after a karmic clearing, which is happening. You might see some delayed rewards of the karmic release of 2017 and 18. All the things that we gave up, that we had to give up to some extent, or they were taken away in some ways. There might have been losses on these dates, which might have happened. I had a personal loss in April of 2018. I mean, if you have any of those things that have happened in that period, Feb to October 2017, January to April 2018, you might see a new start there. And it's good to look at the photos, it's good to look at the emails of these specific dates, or messages of these specific dates. I don't want to go into history beyond. The thing to look out from a political events perspective is that these eclipses in Leo and Aquarius, as we experienced in 2017 and 18, have a lot to do with the leadership in the countries, because Leo represents leadership. So we would see revolution against the leadership, against certain qualities of a leader, certain qualities or individuality of a leader. We will see those happening in United States. We'll see that in more in Russia. We'll see that in Hong Kong, because these are the countries where the nodal axis or the karmic points are getting activated. So this is a very karmic new moon for United States of America in some ways, related to debt, related to national debt. This new start in national debt in some ways will be a karmic debt for the country, in my view, and that could play out in different ways. Sorry to say that, but these are the things which we need to see how they pan out in longer period of time for the country. They may not play out in an immediate sense, but the events that are happening right now, they have longer term impact on these countries beyond this month. So United States, Russia, Hong Kong, they have their karmic points activated right now, and not in an easy fashion at this stage, which can pan out in a longer period of time. For example, for United States, this is like a solar eclipse. So a new start, but a new start in a debt, in a transformation, in, I'm sorry to say, but in some cases it can happen as a loss of something. So that's something to be taken care of. But on a personal level, you might see something come to light which was lost from you, and you get an opportunity to start something new there, and that is something to look forward to. So that's the overview of the new moon and of the first half of the month. I'll now go very briefly over each of the signs. I'll do a more detailed overview, a more detailed analysis of the first half of the month in your individual videos. But let's look at briefly for each of the sign where a new start could be expected, where you can see some surprises and blessings coming through during the course of first half of the month. Let's dig into individual sign now. Hi Virgo, the new moon that is happening on the midnight of 31st of July or the early hours of 1st of August, which will color the first 2 weeks of the month for you, is happening in your house of hidden pursuits. These could be hidden pursuits of creative nature, where you're working on something for work, where you're working on something that you want to launch to everybody, and you are sort of chipping away behind the scene on that. You're working diligently on that. You're perfecting it for your season. You're sort of waiting to get things done for your season, and then you will launch it in your season. But at this point in time, you might be taking support and all those things behind the scene. It could be in the area of bed pleasure and private life. There might be something going on behind the scene when it comes to your private life, and you're just enjoying some time away from the crowd and spending that time with your loved ones, spending that time with a special person, and you're not sort of bringing it out in the light at this stage. It could be in the area of charity, where you're helping somebody behind the scene, where you're doing things to support a set of people behind the scene without telling them, where you're initiating a charity service. And this is something that you're proud of. Servicing others is something that you're proud of. Helping others is something that you're proud of. It could be in the area of spiritual practice, because you might be initiating something that reinforces your faith, which reinforces your faith in the future, your feeling, the security, the feeling that you are supported in some way. So you might be setting up a spiritual practice. You might be looking to take care of your health behind the scene as well. And you are very well advised to do that in the first 2 weeks of the month. Taking some time off, rest, restoration, regenerate from a health perspective, because the second half of the month will become very busy with work. You'll come to highlight when it comes to your work project, and also your health will come to light in the second half of the month. There might be some tests, there might be some amount of health. If there are any health ailments, they might come to light in the second half of the month. So we want to be proactive about that in the first half of the month itself. It is important to check your heart. If you have any heart ailments, to check that, to keep those steps that you take to your to take care of your heart condition if you have one. To do well in terms of managing your cholesterol in the first half of the month, avoiding any heavy lifting or too much of sun, avoiding dehydration, and taking care of your health in general. So these hidden pursuits are also being aspected by a very impulsive and innovative planet of Uranus. Uranus is going to be very, very strong in the first half of the month. It is sort of that awake now, but you are in a stage where you don't want to be out and about and be shown with people. How do we want to manage these two conflicting energy? One that wants you to take some risk, take a leap of faith right now, and one that wants you to chip away behind the scene for now. These two energies are contradictory, but they can help each other as well. Uranus can help you gain faith. It can help you set up a very innovative sort of a practice of faith, of religion, which can help you sort of gain more confidence in what you're doing. Because sometimes prayers strengthen the faith, and faith helps in your work. Having faith but no practice of faith can make our fears exaggerated in some ways. It doesn't mean that we need to have a set religious practice. In fact, having a fixated religious views or religious practice will probably not function well for you. You're not that kind of a sign who would be drawn to that at this stage. You would rather have a more contemporary way of having a spiritual practice, and you will be well placed to start a spiritual practice because you need a support system while you are going through a bold step in your career. So this will be a good time to sort of innovate a faith system, even interact with a faith guru, interact with somebody who you suddenly meet out of the blue, possibly this month, who gives you a different perspective, who gives you a fresh perspective. So travel, interact with people who are different from you, network, even if you don't launch, and you should not launch right now what you're doing. If it is related to your career, you possibly want to hold on to your own season when Uranus will make a positive aspect with all your planets, and there'll be a lot of focus on you starting from 22nd, 23rd of August when your season starts. But if it is a faith practice, if it is a charity that you're doing, if there is something behind the scene you want to do, you would possibly start that now, and you can gain a lot of perspective religiously, spiritually from somebody who's of faith different from you in that. You could also use Uranus energy to come out of a phase where fear was blocking your progress. You can take the step back to go in an accelerated fashion in your season by eliminating any doubts, eliminating any fears, eliminating what is holding you back. Similarly, if you were held back in intimacy, this becomes a good time to get rid of that phase, to come out of a stagnant situation when it comes to intimacy, when it comes to faith, when it comes to spirituality, when it comes to reducing any blockages to your full confidence in yourself. We are getting rid of all that undoes us, that stops us, that blocks us. And Uranus is a great awakener who helps our confidence, who helps our faith, who helps us wake up for the moment and get rid of those fears and those negativities that block us. What is even more positive this month, which is easier energy for you, is that Jupiter is going direct in your house of home and family. So if there were blessings that were held back in terms of harmony, in terms of ease, in terms of abundance in home, family, real estate, place of living, now that smoothens, that becomes easy, that becomes helpful. Your security system, your support system is reinforced with Jupiter going direct. It gives you a lot of confidence. It gives a lot of faith to proceed forward. This is like a hug of a mother, which makes you feel at home, which makes you feel that you can do things that you could not do before. So that warm embrace of Jupiter definitely helps in the coming months for you to have a more bolder approach, to have a bolder approach to your work. And that happens from 11th of August when Jupiter goes direct. You'll start feeling it from 6th or 7th or 8th of August, even when Sun makes a positive aspect with Jupiter and then Venus makes a positive aspect of Jupiter. It helps both professionally as well as personally. But it especially helps your personal life on 8th of August. Your love life, your intimacy with your partner, that is enhanced on 8th of August. This is especially beneficial for people who have planets around 14 or 15 degree of Virgo, which is around 5th or 6th of September born. But it will go and progress further all the way till 24 degree of Virgo, which is around 13th or 14th of September born. So it will slowly progress forward in the coming months, and the blessings keep coming in when it comes to your home, when it comes to expansion of family, when it comes to positivity for parents, with people who you consider as parents. So the home environment becomes a support system, a positive support system for you, which helps you take more risk when it comes to your outer life. And the impulsiveness, the sort of the ready to take a leap, take a jump would be very prominent on 2nd of August, and then yet again on 16th of August. These are impulsive days. These are impulsive days which you can use in a positive fashion, in having a breakthrough, getting rid of fears, getting rid of any doubts, moving forward if you were stagnant in some ways. You can use it in bed pleasures to innovate your way out of intimacy blockages if there were any previously. And we have certain days this month on which I want you to be careful about any power struggles. There might be a few days on which the ego can be high in the environment, because in Leo season, ego is high. You are a very humble, down to earth sign, but in Leo season, our confidence is enhanced, but at the same time, to some extent, ego will be more rampant. And these are specific days on which there could be triggers. 4th of August is one day. Then we have around 14th of August. This is a much easier day for you to handle, 14th of August, but 4th of August could be a little bit of difficult day. And then we have around 24th of August. These are the dates you want to be careful on, especially if you have planets around 22 degree of Virgo, which is around 13th of September born. You could feel like a little bit of mini crisis with somebody on these dates that you want to be careful about. This could be with somebody in a business situation with you. This could be a business partner. This could be a romantic partner. This could be somebody who you are in business with. So you want to be careful on these dates. Apart from that, Virgo, the second half of the month will become very prominent when it comes to your work. This is again true for 22 degree of Virgo, which is around 13th of September born. Something will come to completion, a work project, which puts you in limelight. And at the same time, your health will come to light. Are you taking care of yourself? Are you taking care of your physical health when you are engaged in so much of activity when it comes to work? That will come to light as well in the second half of the month. So you want to be a little bit careful. There are certain very good days this month to start something new behind the scene, to sign off something behind the scene, to start a new service, charity service, to start a practice of spirituality formally, to start a new spiritual practice for you as well. These dates are 7th of August, 8th of August, and then 21st of August. If you have to sign something this month, I will recommend 21st of August to be the date when you sign something. Your ruler Mercury will become visible after 8th of August. This will feel like a fresh energy after 8th of August to you. But that fresh energy will become even more enhanced after 15th of August, when it will come out of shadow and we'll be writing a new story, and a rebirth of the mind has happened by 15th of August. So if you want to do something different, if you want to sign off on something, I would recommend 21st of August. 16th of August is when you're sort of woken up to the current moment and you're like, okay, let's do something different. Let's take a leap of faith. Let's interact. Let's travel. Let's do something else. And those kind of impulses will play out around 16th of August. So I don't recommend 16th of August to sign something. The people who will be most sort of impulsive this month, or feel like travel or just take a leap of faith, do something out of ordinary, take a risk in life, and just go and do something which is sort of very impulsive in nature, could be around 6th degree of Virgo, which is around 29th of August born. This is in positive aspect with you, so it is not a it helps you, it adds to you, it adds innovation to you, it adds a new way of thinking to you, it adds to your knowledge. But this is not the right time to go ahead and publicly launch something. Uranus will make a positive aspect with all of your planets in the second half of the month, specifically after 22nd or 23rd of August, then becomes a better time to do innovative projects which are out and open. You can travel, you can research, you can learn, you can interact with people who are different from you, collect the tools that you need to launch something right now. But better time to launch something is in your season around 22nd or 23rd of August. After that. So good luck, and I'll see you in the next video now. Thanks, Virgo.